Hello everyone, very good evening to all of you. I welcome you all for today's session. In today's session, we are going to study community medicine. And in community medicine, we are going to continue a very important topic, that is environment and health. In the environment and health, we already started water, the lengthiest portion of this unit. So today in this session, we are going to continue and finish water. So let me share my screen quickly with you and start the session. I guess you all can see the screen, so let's start it. So I welcome you all in this batch, the Thought Prof Buster 1.0. Today's subject is community medicine. And in community medicine, we are going to continue the topic environment and health. As I told you, in environment and health, we have to study many topics, that is water, air, ventilation, housing, overcrowding. But before that, the first topic we started is water. We want to study water under all these headings. So in the last session, I hope you have watched my last session of environment and health. In the last session, I already started water and I completed these many headings of water in the last session. So I already taught you the definition of safe and wholesome water. Can we revise it? What's the definition of safe and wholesome water? I told you there are 4 criteria for safe and wholesome water. The water should be free of the pathogenic agent. It should be free of all harmful substances. It should be free of any color, any odor, so it is pleasant to taste, and it should be usable for the domestic purpose. So such a water is known as pure water or safe and wholesome water. If any of these criteria is not fulfilled, it is known as polluted water. I already taught you the water requirement. Every human needs 2 liters of water per person per day for drinking. But for other purpose, it differs. So in urban areas, it is 200 liters per person per day, and in rural areas, it is 40 liters per person per day. I already taught you the 6 uses of water. I already taught you the 3 supplies or the sources of water. The purest form of water is rain. After that, we are having surface water and groundwater. Then I taught you the sanitary well, and I taught you the 9 criteria for the sanitary well. What is its location? What is its parapet, platform, drain? Everything I taught you. Now, in this session, the biggest portion which I am going to teach you is the purification of water. So I am teaching you water. This was just an orientation what I already taught you. Now, what I am going to teach you is the remaining portion of the water. So I already started water. I taught you these many headings, and now I am starting with purification of water. Now, purification of water is a very big portion. Please make a 5-star over it. You frequently get in your exam, in your university exam, long questions on purification of water. Now, I am teaching you purification of water. Okay, so we do purification of water at 2 levels: large scale, small scale. So purification of water done at large scale, purification of water done at small scale. So if this question is coming in your exam, first beware. Read your question very properly. In your question, read whether they are asking the purification of water at large scale or they are asking purification of water at small scale. Please beware. Okay. So one by one we will see. So if they are asking large scale, you have to write that portion. And if they are asking small scale, the answer will be different. Okay. So first I will be teaching you the purification of water at large scale. Then I will come on purification of water at small scale. The methods are different. They are entirely different. You have to understand. So let's start purification of water at large scale. Now, please mind, one of them will come in your university exam, not both. Either they will ask purification at large scale or they will ask purification at small scale. The small scale is the household level. Okay, so let's first study the purification of water at large scale, at town scale, complete city scale, complete town scale. So we all get water, the government supply of water in our homes. Yes or no? Do you have government supply of water at your home? So that to the entire town or to the entire city, we have water supply, the government water supply. The water lines are there. The supply is from the rivers, right? So the government first purify this water at large scale before it is supplied to our homes, to the entire town, to the entire city. This is known as purification of water at large scale. I hope you are understanding. So purification of water at large scale, this is extensive treatment of the water. What are the steps over here? There are 3 components. What I am teaching you, don't you forget, I am teaching you purification of water at large scale. I mean, the water is purified at town level or city level before it is supplied to our home via government water lines, water pipelines. Okay, so there are 3 steps. or there are three components in purification of water at large scale. First, storage, then filtration, then disinfection. Storage, filtration, disinfection. The three components are these. First, storage, then filtration, then disinfection. So let's start with storage. You can see now this is the master chart. I have drawn flow chart. You have to learn the steps. Read what I have written. I have written it's the purification of water at large scale. You can appreciate the three components. First, we will do storage, then filtration, and then disinfection. Let's start with storage. So this is all done by the government. The before the water supply to our home via government water lines, first it is purified. So first stage is storage. The first component is storage. Let's start with storage. Water is stored in big water tanks before it is supplied to our homes. I guess everyone may have seen this near your house, near your colony, near your village. You may have seen it. So water is stored. Okay, so first thing is storage. Storage provide a reserve of water, but storage is not only for reserve. You must understand. Till now, you may be thinking why the government store water in big tanks. Why the government store the water in big tanks? It is for reservation of water, obviously. But apart from reservation, the second purpose is also purification of water. So via storage, we are not only reserving the water. Apart from reserving, we are doing storage also. Okay, so storage, we are doing purification also. The storage provide purification also. So purification, how does purification occurs from storage? So if the water is stored in this tank, this is known as water tank. If the water is stored in this tank for 14 days, will it be purified? How? There are three changes which occur in the water which is stored in this tank. Physical changes, chemical changes, and biological changes. Three type of changes occur in the water which is stored inside this tank. So what are the physical changes that will occur? Tell me the physical changes. So if the water is stored for nearly 7 to 14 days in this tank, 90% of the impurities will get suspended. So whatever impurities present in the water, they will get suspended and the supernatant water will be free of impurities. Within 24 hours, the suspended impurities, the suspended impurities will settle down. All the suspended impurities will settle down because of gravity. Gravity. So because of gravity, all the suspended impurities will settle down. Water become clearer. Okay, so storage is reducing the work of the filters. Yes or no? So because of storage, the suspended impurities will settle down because of gravity. So it is reducing. I'm not saying the filtration is not required, but it is reducing the work of filters. So storage may physical change. Number one, because of physical change, the suspended impurities will settle down. 90% of the suspended impurities will settle down. That is storage. Now coming on the chemical change. The second is what is the chemical change which occurs because of storage. Two type of chemical changes will occur in the water which is stored here. Number one, the aerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria oxidize the organic matter present in the water. All the organic matter present in the water will be oxidized by the aerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria keep on oxidizing the organic matter. Okay, so organic matter component will reduce because of storage, number one. And number two, the form free ammonia to nitrates. The free ammonia present in the water will convert into nitrates. So these two, the free ammonia will convert into nitrates. So free ammonia concentration reduces and nitrate concentration increases on storing the water. This is your MCQ. So please learn the two chemical changes which occur because of storage of water. Okay, the two chemical changes which occur. Number one, organic matter reduces because the aerobic bacteria utilize it, oxidize it. And number two, the free ammonia convert into nitrates. So these are the two chemical changes which occur in water on storing. Now, what are the biological changes which occur in water on storing? Tell me the biological changes which occur in water because of storage. So these are the biological changes. The pathogenic organism keep on dying out. If we are storing the water for 10 to 14 days, if we are storing the water for how many days? 10 to 14 days, 90% of the bacteria will die. 90% of the bacteria will die in just 5 to 6 days. In 10 to 14 days, maximum bacteria will die. And this is the greatest benefit of storage. So storage of water provides three benefit, so before government supply water to my home via my water pipeline, government is storing it in big tanks outside my colony. So this is a water tank in which the water is stored. Here the water is stored nearly 10 days, 10 to 14 days. Why? What is the purpose of storing? So some physical, chemical, and biological changes which occur. Physical, chemical, and biological changes occurs because of storage of water. Okay, so storage is helping in purification. So what are the physical changes which occur? What are the so all the suspended impurities, 90% of them will settle down. So suspended impurities concentration will fall. Chemically, organic compound concentration will fall because the aerobic bacteria will utilize it and the free ammonia will convert into nitrate. So ammonia concentration fall and nitrate concentration will increase on storing. And biologically, the pathogenic organisms, especially the bacteria, 90% bacteria will die. Okay, if we store the water for 5 to 6 days properly. So storage is reducing the bacteria, reducing the suspended impurities, reducing the organic compound, reducing the ammonia. So these are the benefits of storage. So storing water, just store it, merely store it. Just store the water before you consume. Storage is doing purification of the water. Don't use the water directly, rainwater or any water, surface water, groundwater. Don't use it directly. First, store it for few days. Storage is doing purification of water. Please do understand that. Please do understand that. So we have completed the first portion, that is storage, the storage of water. Now coming on filtration, step number 2, the biggest step, that is filtration of water. After storage, we will do the filtration of water. So let's start filtration. There are two type of filters, slow sand filter and rapid sand filter. Slow sand filter. Okay, so filtration is the second stage. Filtration remove 90 to 99% of the bacteria. I told you storage reduces 90% of the bacteria. Okay, 90% of the bacteria will die in just 5 to 6 days of storage. Okay, but if you are doing filtration, 99% of the bacteria will be free. 98 to 99% of the bacteria will be free. Okay, apart from other impurities. There are two type of filters. What are the two type of filters? Slow sand filters and rapid sand filters. Slow sand filters, also known as biological filter, and rapid sand filter, also known as mechanical filter. I will let you know the reason also why the slow sand filter known as biological and the rapid sand filter known as mechanical. I will let you know the reason also. So let's start the slow sand filter. Let's start here, the slow sand filter. Okay, slow sand filter. These are the 4 steps or the 4 components of the slow sand filter. You can see the diagram. This is slow sand filter. Very important question for your university exams and MCQs also. Slow sand filter, ultra important. You can see this is the diagram. Now you are given the diagram and they ask you the labeling of the diagram. So please understand the diagram and understand the 4 components in this diagram. You can appreciate the supernatant water. This one. This is supernatant water, okay, or the raw water which is present over the sand, and this is bed of sand. This is bed of sand. Appreciate this complete is the bed of the sand. So appreciate the supernatant water, appreciate the bed of sand. There are various layers in that. You can appreciate the layers in that, various layers in that. Now appreciate the under drainage system. Appreciate the under drainage system. Here it is not visible, but here we are having the pipes. And appreciate the filters, the wall controls, the walls. So I will explain you all 4 components one by one. Usually it comes in your university exam as a long question. So you are supposed to draw this diagram in your exam. The diagram of the slow sand filter. Okay, so I will teach you how to draw it. So first you understand the various components, in the end I will draw it for you. So I am teaching you slow sand filter. The first component of slow sand filter is supernatant water. Supernatant water, the raw water. It is above the sand bed. Can you see? This is complete sand bed. Appreciate the complete sand bed. Now appreciate above the sand bed, this is supernatant water. The raw water, the water which I want to filter, I'm putting it from here. The water which I want to filter, I'm putting that water from here. and this is the raw water known as supernatant water. Now, gradually, this water will percolate inside the sand. Gradually, this water keep on percolating, 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 and get filtered. Get filtered. The pure form of the water without impurities will percolate. Impurities will remain here only. Only the water keep on percolating deeper, 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 deeper. It will get collected over here in the under drainage, under pipes, and then it will be purified. This is how we are purifying. So first of all, there is a supernatant water. So in this diagram, you all can appreciate this is supernatant water. Where is supernatant water? This one. This is the supernatant water. Supernatant water is fixed. Okay. Its height is 1 to 1.5 meters, and it's always constant. It is 1 to 1.5 meters. So this thickness, it is 1 to 1.5 meters. It is fixed because if this height is fixed, it will keep on producing the fixed resistance. It will pass down into the sand with a fixed resistance. That's why we keep this height fixed. These are the two important factors why we are keeping this height as constant. The constant head of water, this is known as head of water. The constant head of water overcome the resistance provided by the sand. The sand is providing the resistance. But, if you are giving a minimum height so that it is going deeper, overcoming the resistance. So it is important for overcoming the resistance provided by the sand bed and going downward flow, the downward flow of the water. Okay. And 12 to 13 hours of waiting period will further undergo purification by sedimentation. So if you keep a constant head of water or fixed height of water over here, so 10 to 13 hours of waiting period will provide the sedimentation. So these are the two important factors. So this is supernatant water. Below the supernatant water, we are having the sand bed. Can you appreciate the sand bed? Where is the sand bed? This complete thing is the sand bed. Appreciate the sand bed. Appreciate. Now sand bed is having 3 different zones. You can see. So this one is the fine sand. This is the coarse sand, and this one is gravel. So sand bed is the most important part of the filter. Actually, this is the portion who is actually doing the filtration. So filtration is actually done by the sand bed. So whatever water you are putting here as supernatant water, it will percolate into the sand bed, leaving it impurities here only, and water keep on percolating the pure water without impurities. So sand bed is the most important part of the filter. The thickness of the sand bed is 1 meter. I told you here also we have a fixed thickness that is 1 to 1.5 meter, and this is 1 meter. This is fixed. It is 1 meter. The sand grains which are present, they have a diameter of 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter. You have to learn the diameter. Can you see the sand grains? So the diameter of each grain, I'm talking about the diameter of each grain. It is 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter. You have to learn. So sand should be clean. It should be free from clay and organic matter. It should be a clean sand. Okay. And below the sand, there is a layer of gravel. Can you see this is fine sand? First of all, there is fine sand, then coarse sand, and then gravel. The gravel is the big stones. Can you appreciate the gravel here also? Appreciate the big stones over here. This is gravel. This is all gravel. Why we are putting gravel? What is the reason of putting the gravel over here? The gravel are the big stones. So we put the gravel because it prevents the fine grain to be carried into the drainage pipes. Here we are having the drainage pipes. So please do understand, people. Here we are putting the supernatant water, which is impure water, over the sand bed. The water is fixed height. We are putting a fixed height 1 to 1.5 meter. This water will percolate slowly down. It will percolate. Okay, it will percolate like this. Okay, and once it become pure, it will enter. These are the perforated pipes, the drainage. It is having the pores in that. From these pores, the pure water will enter inside this. But we want the water to enter. We do not want the sand to enter in these pipes. That's why we are putting the gravel over here. The gravel are the big stones that will prevent the sand, the fine sand, to drain into the pipes. That's what it is written. So this gravel will prevent the fine grain of the sand to be carried into the drainage pipe. Okay, so water is slowly percolating down. Okay, and water percolate very slowly. It takes many hours. And during this percolation, when the water, this is supernatant water, it is slowly percolating, and going into the perforated pipes, get purified. Okay, so there is mechanical straining, sedimentation, adsorption, oxidation, bacterial action, everything is taking place. What is the rate of filtration? The rate of filtration is 2 to 3 millimeter cube per hour per meter square of the sand bed. Okay, in the difference table, I will let you know the find the rapid sand and the slow sand. So this is the rate of filtration. Now you have to understand one more thing here, very important, vital layer. What is vital layer? Can you see this diagram again? Now in this diagram, please appreciate this one is the supernatant water. This one is the supernatant water, and this one is the sand bed. You can appreciate from here till here. We are having the complete sand bed, the various layers, the fine sand, the coarse sand, the gravel. But you can appreciate between the supernatant water and the sand bed, we are having one more layer. Can you appreciate this layer? Let me highlight this layer between supernatant water and the sand. What is this layer? This layer is vital layer. When we start the slow sand filter, just if we are just starting, when the slow filter is just laid down, it is newly laid, it acts as a mechanical filter. Okay, but after few days it convert into biological filter. What do you mean by that? Can you see this layer, the vital layer? It's a layer of algae or bacteria or diatoms or plankton. So a layer of algae, bacteria, diatoms, plankton will form over the sand. You know, the bacteria, the algae, the plankton from the water will form a layer over here, but gradually, okay, gradually a layer is formed, and this is vital layer. This vital layer also known as, can you pronounce it? What is this? This is this is known as Schmutzdecke, something like that. So this vital layer, also known as Schmutzdecke layer, zoological layer or biological layer, whatever you say, the meaning is the same. So can you see this yellow layer? This is vital layer or Schmutzdecke layer or biological layer or zoological layer, and it is formed gradually. So gradually, first the slow sand filter acts as a mechanical filter, like gradually after few days it start acting along with mechanical, it start acting as a biological filter because of formation of this layer. So this layer, once this layer is formed, it is known as ripening of the filter. The filter got ripened, pakka gaya filter, the filter got ripened. Okay, and it is known as heart of the filter. It is known as heart of the filter. Say, ma'am, how it is helping in filtration? Because this layer helps in removing the organic matter. This layer of the fungus or the algae, it is helping in removing the organic matter, holding back the bacteria, oxidizing the ammonical nitrogen into nitrates. Okay, so this is how it is helping in purification. So this is the vital layer, zoological layer, biological layer, or the most important pronunciation is Schmutzdecke layer. So please learn that. Please learn that. Everyone got it? So we have already seen the supernatant water. We have already seen the sand bed. Now the third component of the slow sand filter is under drainage system. Under drainage system, you already understood. So first of all, here we have supernatant water. Then we have the complete sand bed, but the uppermost layer of the sand bed, you can see this one. It is the vital layer. Now we are having the drainage system. This is the pipes. Can you see the pipes? The pipes are perforated. These pipes. So at the bottom of the filter, there are perforated pipes. Now you please understand the theme behind that. Whatever water you are putting here as a supernatant water, that will slowly percolate, get purified via various methods. So the purest form of the water will enter into these pipes via the perforation. So whatever water collected in the pipes is the pure water. It is the filtered water, I must say. It is the filtered water. So it is providing the outlet to the filtered water. So I hope you got the complete theme. So in this diagram, it's not visible. In this diagram, you can see this is the supernatant layer of the water. It is percolating into the sand bed. And here I should draw the pipes. These are the pipes. They have the perforations in them. They have the holes in them. From this perforation or holes, the water which is percolating get filtered, and the filtered water will enter into these drainage pipes. The filtered water will enter into these drainage pipes. So this is under drainage system. I hope you got it. And the fourth and the last thing is the control, the filter control in the form of the walls. Can you see here there is a wall? Here there is a wall. Okay. And There are walls, and there is venturi meter, which measures the resistance. So here we are putting the water, which is known as supernatant water. It is known as water head. The height of this water is known as water head. This water is percolating. So there is a resistance. There is a resistance that is measured over here in the wall. When resistance is too high, when resistance is too high, after few days, the pores get blocked. The pores between the sand get blocked and water cannot penetrate. So this wall completely open. When this wall is completely open, it is the time to clean this filter. Okay, so walls are there to see the resistance or to see the loss of head. Resistance is loss of head. Loss of head means this height, the height of this water, the loss of head. So these are the four components of the slow sand filter. So if it is coming in your exam, you should be able to draw it. So how you are going to draw? You can draw this diagram, or you can draw this diagram. So if I want to draw the diagram of slow sand filter, first of all, I will draw the supernatant water. This is supernatant water. Okay. And after that, I will draw the sand bed. Okay. This is supernatant water. After that, I will draw the sand bed. So here I am drawing the sand bed. First of all, there is fine sand, few layers of fine sand, then few layers of coarse sand. Okay, few layers of coarse sand, and finally few layers of gravel. Few layers of gravel, the gravel are stones. So in these three layers, you have to draw the sand particles. The fine sand particles, the diameter of each particle is 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter. And the complete thickness here, the depth here, it is 1 meter. The thickness of the water, the depth of the water is 1 to 1.5 meter. You have to write down this dimension. Okay. Now, whatever water you are putting here for filtration as a supernatant water, it will start percolating. It will get filtered and gradually it will reach at the bottom. At the bottom, there are pipes. The pipes is having perforations in them. Via this perforation, the filtered water will enter in these pipes. This is under drainage system. And via this drainage, here we will put the walls, venturi meter and the walls that will measure the resistance. Based on the wall, based on the venturi meter, we measure the resistance and we will come to know when is the time to clean this filter. How this filter is cleaned, I will let you know. I hope you got the complete principle and the mechanism and the components of the slow sand filter. Yes or no? One more thing I forgot to tell you here is the vital layer. The topmost, the uppermost or the topmost layer of the sand bed is the vital layer. Gradually it is formed. It's a layer of algae. It's a layer of algae, planktons, diatoms, bacteria, which are laid from the water, and it also helps in purification. So initially, when there is no vital layer, it is only mechanical filter. After the formation of the vital layer, it is mechanical as well as biological filter. It is known as ripening of the filter, and this vital layer is known as heart of the slow sand filter. So vital layer is present in slow sand filter, and it is the heart. It is the heart of this filter. Please learn it. It is also known as Schmutzdecke layer. Okay, you have seen that. It comes in your MCQs. So I hope you got the components. Now the point is how to do the cleaning. How to do the cleaning of this filter. I'm talking about slow sand filter. How to do the cleaning of the slow sand filter. How we do the cleaning? Tell me. How we do the cleaning? When is the time to clean? When the wall is fully open. This wall. When this wall is fully open, it means resistance is too high. Whatever water you are putting here as a supernatant water, it is getting very high resistance. So the wall is fully open here. It's time to clean the filter. Okay, it's time. So cleaning is not very frequent, but cleaning is required, once a month or something like that. It is not very frequent. And for cleaning, we do not require any skill. It is done by unskilled worker because the cleaning is done by simple scrapping. Simple scrapping. Have you ever washed your utensils? We eat food in our utensils. Have you ever tried washing it in your kitchens? Or have you seen your moms or anyone who is washing the utensils in which we eat the food? How we clean them? We scratch them. I mean, we scrap them. We scrap and then we wash in water. So it is simple scrapping, like bartan saaf karna. It is as simple as that. So the sand bed is cleaned by scrapping the topmost layer. So first the supernatant water is taken out. The supernatant water is taken out. It is taken out. The supernatant water is drained off. It is taken out. Now the topmost layer is cleaned with scrapping, simply like we wash our utensils, the jutha utensils we wash in which we eat the food. So simply by scrapping, we are washing this. So no skill is required for that. Okay. How many times we can do the cleaning? Okay. So this time I have done. After that, one more time. After the next month, I will do one more time. So we can do scrapping for 20 to 30 times. Every time when we scrap, so this sand bed will lose its thickness. The topmost layer will be lost. The topmost layer will be lost. Topmost. So every time nearly 1 to 2 centimeter is lost. Every time 1 to 2 centimeter. Once it become 0.8 meters, total it is 1 meter. Once it become 0.8 meter, okay, once it become 0.8 meter, it's time to close this plant, open another plant. Okay, got it. So it happens after 20 to 30 cleaning. So once we will open this plant, the slow filter plant, it's a very space occupying plant. Okay, it's spacious. So in this plant, we can do the cleaning of this plant 20 to 30 times. So what is the criteria? I mean, you have to see the thickness of this sand bed. So when we start the plant, the thickness start with 1 meter. With every cleaning, the topmost layer is scraped off. So nearly 2 centimeter is lost. You can see 1 to 2 centimeter lost, 2 centimeter lost, 2 centimeter lost, 2 centimeter. So once it become 800 centimeter or 0.8 meter, you have to close the plant and open another plant. So this is how the cleaning is done. So after 20 to 30 scrapping, once the sand bed is reduced to 0.8 meters, it's time to close the plant. This is how cleaning is done. What are the advantages of slow sand filter? Can you tell me the advantages? It is very simple to construct. It's simple to construct. It's very cheap. And the quality of water is very high. We are getting 99.9 to 99.99% of filtered water. Okay, the total bacterial count is reduced by 99.90 to 99.99% of E. coli is reduced. So water quality is very high. So it is simple, it is cheap, and water quality is high. The three advantages of slow sand filter, people. We are done with the slow sand filter. Now, if it is coming as a long question, are you people ready to draw the diagram? You are. Are you people ready to label the diagram with these four things? Yes, you are. Are you people ready to write the description of these four components? Obviously. You know the cleaning and the advantages. You know how to clean. Learn one word in the cleaning. The one word in the cleaning is scrapping. Scrapping. Scrap it. Simple scrapping. Simple scrapping. Scrap the sand layer. That's it. So while scrapping, we are cleaning it, and you know the advantages also. Now coming on this rapid sand filter, the second type of the filter over here is rapid sand filter. So let's come on the second filter, rapid sand, also known as mechanical filter. It is of two types, gravity type, pressure type. The two types are gravity type, pressure type. Gravity type also known as Peterson filter, and the pressure type also known as Candice filter. Okay, you have to learn. Now what are the steps? Here we have 5 steps. Here we have 5 steps. You can see coagulation, rapid mixing, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration. Coagulation, rapid mixing, M for mixing, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration. This is flocculation, this is filtration. Okay, you can make some mnemonic. I don't have, but you can make some mnemonic over here to learn the sequence. First of all, coagulation, then mixing, then flocculation, then sedimentation, then filtration. Please make some mnemonic to learn the sequence. You can see coagulation, mixing, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration. The 5 steps of the rapid sand. You can appreciate the same 5 steps written over here. One by one we will start. So let's start with the first step, coagulation. Okay, the first step, coagulation. In coagulation, the raw water we take and mix it with alum. We take the raw water and we add alum in that. We are mixing alum. How much alum? It depends on the color of water, the turbidity of water, temperature and pH of water. So we are having the algorithms, we are having the softwares. We will put the water in that, and based on the water which we are putting, the quantity of alum which we mix differs. It can be 5 milligram per liter to 40 milligram per liter. So it may differ. The range is very wide. It is 5 to 40 milligram per liter. It can be as low as 5 milligram per liter. It can be as high as 40 milligram per liter. We are mixing alum here. The step number 1. Step number 2, we are doing rapid mixing. After mixing alum, we treat the water and we do violent agitation. Mark the word violent. Violently we agitate it. Violently. Can you see? With a stirrer. With a stirrer. Okay. Have you ever tried making buttermilk from the curd in your kitchens? You know how violently we mix the curd to make the buttermilk out of that, or to make the, makhan, the butter out of that. So violently we are mixing. Here we are mixing violently in the mixing chamber for few minutes, so that a quick and thorough dissemination of the alum throughout, the bulk of the water. This is rapid mixing. Now third is flocculation. In flocculation we do gentle stirring. Now first take water, mix alum. Just mix alum. After that, violent agitation. Okay, and then slow and gentle mixing. First violent agitation, it is known as rapid mixing. Then slow and gentle mixing, it is known as flocculation. So please do understand, if I am doing violent agitation, it is known as rapid mixing. This step number 2. And if I am doing slow and gentle agitation or mixing, it is known as flocculation. In flocculation, the flocculants are formed. You can see the thick white color flocculants are formed. Here I've shown black color, but they are white color actually. So you can see the thick flocculants are formed. White color, capacious flocculants are formed. Each flocculant contains the impurity. Okay, now the next step is sedimentation. The treated water, we will sediment for 6 hours. 2 to 6 hours, don't touch it. Whatever flocculants are formed, they will take the impurities and bacteria and settle down. So whatever flocculants of alum which are formed here, they will absorb the bacteria and the impurities. The bacteria and impurities come and absorb on that, and they will settle down. So for settling, we have to leave it for 2 to 6 hours. Don't touch it. This is sedimentation. Because of gravity, they will settle down. They will settle down in the tank. Nearly 95% of the flocculant will be settled down. And finally, we will shift in the last tank, that is filtration. The last tank we will shifting is filtration. Filtration contains sand. Again, it contains sand, this filtration. Can you see? The fine sand, the coarse sand, and the gravel. Again, the same 3 layers, like the slow sand, the slow filter. Okay, the rapid filter also. The last thing is the filtration. In slow sand filter, it was only filtration. But in rapid, first we are doing this all steps, and then we are doing the filtration. Please do understand the basic difference between the slow sand and the rapid sand. In the slow sand filter, we have directly put over the sand bed for filtration. Filtration was done in the slow sand. But in rapid sand, first we do coagulation, then rapid mixing, then flocculation, then sedimentation. Then we are doing filtration. Filtration is the last step over here, the 5th and last step. So filtration is done on the sand bed. You can see this is the sand bed over which we are doing the filtration. Here also we take the sand. You can see here the sand bed. Appreciate the sand bed. Okay, so we will take the supernatant water over here. We will take, or here only you can take. You can take the supernatant water over here. The supernatant water over the sand. Here the sand particle size. The diameter of sand particle size is 0.4 to 0.7 millimeter. If you remember the diameter of sand particle size in slow sand, it was 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter. Here the diameter of each particle, here it is 0.4 to 0.7 millimeter. Okay, the depth of sand bed is same, it's 1 meter. There also it was 1 meter. Here also the depth or the height, whatever you say, it's 1 meter. And below the sand bed, we have gravel. The big stones are there, gravel. Again, the reason is same, to prevent the sand to enter the under drainage pipes. Okay, and rate of filtration, I will let you learn, compare the rate of filtration. And below that, we are having under drain pipes. Here it is not shown. You can draw the pipes, the perforated pipes over here. Okay, so whatever water percolating, okay, you are putting the supernatant water from this chamber to this chamber. Now in this chamber, whatever water you have put, it is percolating slowly, going deeper. Once it gets filtered, completely crossing the sand bed, crossing the gravel, via this perforation, it will enter in these pipes. So whatever water coming in this under drainage pipe, it is already filtered. I hope you got it. I hope. So first take the water in the first chamber, that is coagulation chamber, and mix alum in that. Okay, then in the same chamber, you can do rapid mixing. In the same chamber, you can do gentle mixing. Once you will do the gentle mixing, the flocculants are formed, the thick flocculants are formed. Okay, these flocculants will absorb the bacteria and the impurities, and then sedimentation. Don't touch it for 2 to 6 hours, it will settle down. Then shift it to the next chamber. The next chamber over the sand bed as a supernatant water. Here the mechanism is same as that of slow sand filter. Okay, but you have to learn the particle size of the sand is different, so the rate will be different. The rate will be different. Here particle size is large, so rate is faster, and that's why it is known as rapid filter. I hope you are getting the correlation. So this is the last chamber, and this is finally the treated water. So this is the last chamber here I have shown you. This last one. Can you see the last one over here? The filtration one, the fifth one, the last chamber. The last chamber actually looks like this. Now in this chamber, you can see where is the sand bed. We can correlate in this chamber. Here is the sand bed. Here you can see, here we are having the sand bed. So you can see here is the sand bed. This one. This is the sand bed. Okay. You can see this is the sand bed over here. So we will put the supernatant water over here. The supernatant water will percolate, percolate, percolate. Here we are having under drainage pipes, perforated pipes, and finally the water which is purified, it will come from this end. Okay, I hope you got it. So these are the 5 steps in the rapid sand filter. So what are the 5 steps? Coagulation, in which we are mixing the alum. Then rapid mixing, in which we are doing violent agitation. Then flocculation, in which we are doing slow and gentle mixing to form the flocculants. Then sedimentation, the flocculants take the impurities over them and settle down because of gravity. And then filtration, in which we are putting the water which is from here as a supernatant water over the sand bed. And then the remaining steps will be same like this. I hope you are getting it. And this topic is ultra important for your exam, people. This topic is ultra important. Now in your university exam, either you get a question on the slow sand or you get a question on the rapid sand. So for both of them, you have the diagram ready with you. You know what diagram have to be drawn. You know the 4 components here and the 5 steps here. Okay, you draw the diagram, you explain the steps, you explain the components. Now here I taught you the cleaning and advantages. Here also I will teach you the cleaning and advantages. How we do the cleaning in slow sand? We do the cleaning via scrapping. Scrapping was the word. Here we don't scrap it. Here we don't scrap it. Here cleaning is very frequent. Okay, in the rapid one, cleaning is frequent. It should be daily or weekly. Here it is monthly. It is on monthly. Okay, but here it is daily or weekly. It is not fixed in a month. Here we see with the help of the Venturi meter. We are having the walls over there. When the wall is fully open, then we clean it. It may be a month, it may be 2 months, like that. Cleaning is not very frequent, but here cleaning is very frequent. It is daily or weekly, and it takes 15 minutes to clean it. So by the end of the day, we have to clean it. We have to clean it. The rapid one has to be cleaned daily or at least weekly. How we do the cleaning? Here the main word to be picked up is backwashing. It is not scrapping, in contrast to slow one. Here we do the backwashing. What do you mean by backwashing? Normally we are putting the supernatant water here. We are putting the supernatant water over here. And the water will go percolate, 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 percolate. Once it will become purified, it will go in the pipe. Can you see the pipe? The perforated pipes, and via these pipes it will come out. Here we are doing reverse. Here we will put the water from this end. We will put the water from this end, backwashing. So the water will go here from the perforated pipes. It will go to the sand from below upwards. Rather than above downwards, it is going from below upwards. It is going from below upwards and cleaning the sand bed, and the water will come here. Initially, impure water will come here. It will take the impurities from the sand. Okay, and later on, you have to keep on putting the water from this side, Okay, once the water becomes clean here, it means that cleaning is done. It needs 15 minutes. Non-stop, you have to run the water from this side. It is backwashing. Instead of putting this water as supernatant and taking it from this pipe, we are putting the water from this pipe, the perforated pipe, and taking it as a supernatant fluid. So see the quality of water, the color of water which is coming as a supernatant fluid. So this is known as backwashing. Okay. So supernatant water, whatever present, first you drain it off. Then reverse flow through the sand bed. Okay, backwashing. The word here is not scrapping. The word here is backwashing. It will dislodge the impurity and clean the complete sand bed, complete depth of the sand bed. Okay, once the water, the supernatant water is clear, it means the cleaning is done, and it is daily or weekly. Daily or weekly, and it requires 15 minutes. What are the advantages of the rapid filter? The advantages, it requires less space. Okay, in contrast to slow one, which require more space. This one is rapid. That's why it is known as rapid. This one is rapid. Washing is easy. Washing is easy, but it requires skill. Okay, for backwashing, here skillful workers are required. In contrast to bartan manjna scrapping, that was unskillful. Okay, washing is relatively easy and more flexibility in the operations. So that is the advantages. So people, we are done with step 2 of purification of water. So I taught you step 1 of purification of water, that is storage, and I taught you step 2 of purification of water, that is filtration. Filtration mein I taught you the slow sand filter, I taught you the rapid sand filter. Slow sand filter, rapid sand filter. You know the steps here, you know the steps here. You know how cleaning is done here, you know how cleaning is done here. Here cleaning is done via scrapping, here cleaning is done via backwashing. You know the advantages? Advantages. So this is what you are expected to write in your exam if it is coming as a long question. You draw the diagram of this, write the components, write the steps, draw the diagram, write the components, write the steps. You should know how cleaning is done and what are the advantages or disadvantages of each of them. You should know compare contrast. So let's come. Now you know both of them. Compare both of them. Can we do the comparison of slow versus rapid? First I taught you slow, then I taught you rapid. Let's compare. You already know all the points. So this side we have taken slow and this side we have taken rapid. Compare them on these points. First you tell me, see the diagram. See the diagram. This is a diagram of slow filter and this is a diagram of rapid filter. Slow filter also known as biological filter because of this layer, vital layer. This one is known as mechanical filter. It don't have this layer, although it is formed there also, but main isn't slow. Okay, now this one occupy greater area, this one occupy less area. Area wise, this one occupy more area, this one occupy less area. So this one is good. We want something that get compact, that can be compacted. Okay, rate of filtration. Now see the unit of rate. Here rate of filtration is slow, it's 2 to 3. And rate of filtration is fast. Instead of 2, it's 200. It's 200. It's 100 times faster. What is this unit MGAD? MGAD. What is this unit MGAD? MGAD is million gallon per acre per day. Million gallon per acre per day. Okay. So now read it. Now read it. The slow filter is purifying take it 2 million gallon of water. Okay. Per acre per day. Okay. And the rapid one is purifying 200. Here 2, here instead of 2, it's 200. So can I say rapid is 100 times faster of slow? Yes. The rapid is 100 times faster of slow. Got it? So this one is 200 million gallon per acre per day. Okay, that is the rate of filtration. Please see. Now see the sand particle size. Can you tell me the sand particle diameter of each sand? The diameter of each sand particle here also, here also. Here it's 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter. Here it's 0.4 to 0.7 millimeter. Since here diameter is less, that's why it's slow. Here diameter is high, that's why it's fast. So they are inversely related. Okay, you can imagine here it's very small. It's very small sand. So water takes time to percolate. This is not the sand. I'm sorry. This one is the sand. So whatever water I'm putting here, that take time to percolate. That's why it's slow. But here the big particles of water can percolate very faster rate. I hope you are getting it. Okay, here preliminary treatment is not required. Here preliminary treatment may we do coagulation, then sedimentation. You know, the steps are there. Okay, flocculation. Here cleaning is done. Washing is done by simple scrapping. Here cleaning is done by backwashing. Here, frequent washing is not required. It is once a month. Here, it is required daily or weekly. Here, less skilled workers can do it. Unskilled workers can do it. Here, highly skilled workers are required. Here, removal of turbidity is good. Here, also good. Removal of color is fair. It's good. Removal of bacteria. So, slow one is removing 99.99% bacteria. Fast one, rapid one is removing 99. Okay, so slow one is good. The slow one is more good. Okay, got it. Sustainability, this one is for small towns. This one is for big towns. You can see sustainability. Okay, I hope you got these points. You have to learn these. Don't learn this table. People, please learn this one and try to fill this by your own. Please, I hope everyone got it. Learn these points based on which you can fill it. Okay, give me a minute. I will try to fill it for you. You have to give me a minute. Okay, just a second. I will be back. I'm sharing my screen. Just a second. I guess I've shared my screen again. Can we fill it? Chalo, come on, we will try. We will try. Space. So this side we have slow, this side we have rapid. Space wise, this one occupy more space, this one occupy less space. Rate of filtration. That's very important. This one is 2, this one is 200. What's the unit? Million gallon per acre per day. Million gallon per acre per day. Okay, so this one is 100 times faster. The sand size. Here the sand size is zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3 millimeter, the diameter. Here 0.4 to zero point 0.7 millimeter, the diameter. Here preliminary treatment not required. Here required coagulation, flocculation, the steps, agitation, mixing, the steps. Here washing. Washing is done by scrapping. Okay. And here washing is done via backwashing. Backwashing. Okay. The frequency of washing. Frequency. So here it is monthly. Okay. Monthly. Here it is daily or weekly. Daily or weekly. Okay. Mechanism of action. This one is mechanical plus biological. This one is only mechanical, not biological. Okay. Operation ठीक है. Loss of turbidity is good in both of them. Color removal is good in both of them. Removal of bacteria. This one remove 99.99% bacteria. This one remove only 99% bacteria. Okay, sustainability. This one is for small towns. This one is for big towns. I hope you all got it. Okay, this is the diagram. So we are done with step number 2. Okay, so step 1 storage is done. Step 2 filtration is done. Okay, storage I taught you the 3 changes which occur on storing the water. The physical change on storing the water, the chemical change on storing the water, the biological change on storing the water. And filtration I taught you the slow sand filter, the rapid sand filter, their diagram, their steps, their mechanism, their cleaning, their advantages. Now I'm coming on the third and the last component of purification of water on large scale. Still I'm teaching you purification of water on large scale. That is disinfection. So let's come on disinfection. There are 2 things here, chlorination and ozonation. Ozonation is not very important. I will tell you later, but currently I'm teaching you chlorination. So let's start disinfection. Disinfection, the last component of purification. So first we have done storage, then we have done filtration, and now we are doing disinfection. For filtration, we were having 2 options. We can do the filtration with slow sand, we can do the filtration with rapid sand. Okay, more or less both have. Ultimately, they are giving good quality of water. This one is removing 99.99% bacteria. This one is removing 99% bacteria, but both are giving quite good quality of water. And finally, we are doing disinfection. For disinfection also, we are having 2 options, chlorination, ozonation. So let's start with chlorination. So what we are doing in the chlorination, people? Say what we are doing in the chlorination. Chlorination is a supplementation of the filtration. Don't think if we are doing chlorination, we don't have to do filtration. No, these are the steps. Chlorination is a supplementation of the filtration. First you do storage, then you do filtration with one of them, and then do chlorination. Chlorination is not replacement of filtration, mind my words. It's the supplement of the filtration. What does chlorination do? So you can see we are taking the water and adding the chlorine in the water. So what does this chlorine will do? Chlorine will kill the bacteria, but chlorine will have no effect on spores. It will kill some viruses, but other viruses are not killed. So chlorine kill only bacteria. Chlorine don't kill viruses and spores. Okay, some viruses it kills, but many viruses don't kill. What are the characteristics of chlorination? Once we add chlorine in the water, you can see chlorine. Here we are adding chlorine in the water. So that chlorine is killing the bacteria. But chlorine is not killing the spores and viruses. Spores and viruses are still alive even after chlorinating. It oxidizes the metals. It oxidizes iron, manganese, hydrogen sulfide. It destroys the taste and odor. Okay, so it destroys the poor taste. Sometimes the water is not having good taste. If you add chlorine, that taste will be gone. Sometimes the water have some smell in that. It is not having a good odor. Normal water should be odorless. So chlorine is removing the taste, the bad taste, and the bad odor. And it control algae and the slime organism. So these are the characteristics or the properties, what happens to the water once we add the chlorine. Now, the most important over here, what is the mechanism of action of chlorine? That is very important from MCQ point of view. You get many MCQs on this concept. What is the action of the chlorine? What happens once we add chlorine in the water? What we are doing here, you can see we are adding chlorine in the water. Appreciate this water. Appreciate this is chlorine ka tablet. Chlorine. So once you add chlorine in the water, what is chlorine? It's Cl2. What is water? H2O. They will react. They will form two things. Learn two things, people, everyone here. Please see on your gadgets. Learn the two things which are formed on this chemical reaction. Once we add chlorine with the water, so two things are formed: HCl and HOCl. What is HCl? Hydrochloric acid. And what is HOCl? This is hydrochloric acid. And what is HOCl? Hypochlorous acid. So please understand, HCl is hydrochloric acid and HOCl is hypochlorous acid. This one, HCl, just neutralize uh, by alkalinity of the water. Normal water is little bit alkaline, and this is acid. This acid will neutralize the alkalinity of water. It will not kill anything. It is main thing is the HOCl which is formed. Can you see this HOCl? The HOCl which is formed, it will further split into H positive and OCl negative. Okay, so main is HOCl or OCl. They are the main thing that kill the bacteria. So please understand this reaction. So HOCl or OCl. Okay, hypochlorous acid or hypochlorite ion. So main disinfection is due to HOCl and minor action is OCl ion. That are the main thing which are disinfecting action of the chlorine. The main disinfecting action of the chlorine itself is not doing anything. Chlorine is forming HOCl and this HOCl will kill the bacteria. So say the reaction. Once we take the water and we mix the water with the chlorine, okay, water is H2O, chlorine is Cl2. Once you mix the two, what two things are formed? What two things are formed? HCl and HOCl. Name them. What is HCl? It is hydrochloric acid. And what is HOCl? Hypochlorous acid. Hydrochloric acid, hypochlorous acid. I hope everyone knows it. And this one will further split into H positive and OCl negative. So once we add the chlorine, the main disinfection is due to this. Second most minor action is due to this. Okay, this one just neutralize the alkalinity of water. Okay, so this is how the products are formed. So you get very important repeatedly asked MCQ. The main action of chlorine is due to HOCl. If options have HOCl, go with that. If option don't have HOCl, go with OCl. Go with OCl negative ion. So major action of chlorine is due to HOCl. The minor action of chlorine is due to OCl negative. I hope everyone got it. So it is the hypochlorous acid which is giving the disinfection due to chlorine. The most effective form of chlorine for water disinfection. And maximum it works at 7. Maximum HOCl is formed at 7. This reaction takes place at pH 7. So the pH of water at which maximum disinfection will take place is the neutral water. So that's why it's also an MCQ. Why we want the pH of water as 7 for the chlorine action? Because maximum HOCl is formed at pH 7. At pH 7. When the pH is 7, there is predominance of HOCl and maximum disinfection will occur. Now, what is the principle of chlorination? That's very important to understand over here. Please do understand the principle of chlorination. What is the principle of chlorination here? How much chlorine you want to add? What is the correct dose of the chlorine you want to add over here? The correct dose of the chlorine. The correct dose of the chlorine is equal to chlorine demand plus additional 0.5 milligram per liter residual chlorine. Now, what do you mean by that? Okay, how much chlorine I want to add here? Tell me the dose. Tell me dose. This is a water body. You can see this is a water body. Suppose this is a well, this is a lake, this is a swimming pool, whatever it is. Okay, this is a water body. I want to disinfection. So I'm adding chlorine. But how much should I add? It depends on two things. And it's very important and difficult to understand. It depends on the chlorine demand and the residual chlorine. Chlorine demand depends from water to water. It varies. But residual chlorine is fixed. It's 0.5 milligram per liter. Please understand what is chlorine demand. What is chlorine demand? I will come on both components one by one. First, I will teach you what is chlorine demand. And then I will teach you what is residual chlorine. Okay. So first, chlorine demand. Chlorine demand is the amount of chlorine which is required to destroy the bacteria already present in the water or to oxidize the organic matter already present in the water. This is a water body. Now, this water body is having many bacteria in it. These are the bacteria present in the water body, or this is the organic matter present in this water body. Okay, we want to destroy the bacteria and destroy the organic matter. Okay, so we start putting chlorine. So initially, whatever chlorine we put initially as we started, that chlorine is required to kill the existing bacteria and existing organic matter. Okay, that chlorine will get neutralized. I mean, it will utilized in killing it. It will keep on utilizing. Okay, after that, when all the bacteria get killed, all the bacteria and all the organic matter is oxidized. All the bacteria get killed. That point is known as break point. That point is known as break point. Okay, now if you keep on adding the chlorine even after that, okay, you have not stopped at the break point. You are keeping on adding it. Now that will accumulate in the water, and that chlorine is known as free chlorine or residual chlorine. That chlorine is known as free chlorine, and that amount I want that free chlorine or residual chlorine is 0.5 milligram per liter to be there. This is fixed. Okay, this is fixed. 0.5 milligram per liter. This is for future bacteria. If any other bacteria enter in that water before I drink it, this much of chlorine should be there to kill that bacteria. Or if any other organic matter is coming before I consume it, so this much of chlorine should be there to take care of the future bacteria or future organic matter. But the existing bacteria and the organic matter will be destroyed by the chlorine, that is known as chlorine demand. So I hope you got it. So suppose this is a water body. This is a water body. Now it can be a well, it can be a lake, it can be any water body, it can be a swimming pool. I want to disinfect this water body. So what I have done, I started adding chlorine from outside. Okay. We will add chlorine in the form of bleaching powder. We cannot add directly chlorine. Directly chlorine is not available. Chlorine is available in the form of bleaching powder. So basically we are adding bleaching powder which will release the free chlorine. Okay, I will tell you how much bleaching powder release how much chlorine. I will tell you the calculation. I'm sorry. So this is the chlorine we are adding. Okay, we are adding bleaching powder in the form of the chlorine. I mean, chlorine is added in the form of bleaching powder. So this chlorine is started. We started adding this chlorine. Now this water already contained bacteria. This water already contain organic matter, pre-existing bacteria and pre-existing organic matter. So once we start adding chlorine, that chlorine will get utilized in killing the bacteria and oxidizing this organic matter, and that will not accumulate in the water. And this is known as chlorine demand. This is known as chlorine demand. Now no bacteria remain, no organic matter remain, all the bacteria get killed, all the organic matter already oxidized with the chlorine. Now still we are keep on adding. Now this point is known as breakpoint. Now after that, if we are still adding the chlorine, that chlorine will accumulate in this water as free chlorine. It is known as residual chlorine, and this level should be 0.5 milligram per liter. So keep on adding more chlorine till the residual level become 0.5 milligram per liter. This is for future bacteria. Now you will say, ma'am, why you are giving extra chlorine? You have already killed all the bacteria and already oxidized all the organic matter. This water is filtered. This water is disinfected. Just consume it. But since I cannot consume it directly, it is present in a well, I will consume it after few days. But what if in that few days another bacteria or another organic matter will enter? So what if? So we should have a backup of the chlorine that will take care of that future bacteria or future organic matter before I consume this water. Okay, so this level should be minimum 0.5 milligram or fixed, not minimum. It's a fixed level 0.5 milligram per liter. This is residual. And once it is achieved, stop adding chlorine. So how much chlorine I am adding? First, I'm adding the chlorine that will kill all the pre-existing bacteria and that will destroy all the pre-existing organic matter, that is known as chlorine demand. How much is the chlorine demand? I cannot tell. It depends from water body to water body. Some water body is having more bacteria, more organic matter. Some water body is having less bacteria, less organic matter. So chlorine demand will depend from water body to water body. Suppose we are having two water bodies, water body A and water body B. Suppose we are having two wells or two swimming pools or two wells. So here this is the pre-existing bacteria. So here pre-existing bacteria are more. You can see, and pre-existing organic matter is also more. The pre-existing bacteria are very less. Organic matter is also very less. So here I started adding chlorine. And also I started adding chlorine. Here I need more chlorine to destroy all them. Here I need less chlorine to destroy all of them. So here chlorine demand is high. Chlorine demand is less. Once the breakpoint is achieved, breakpoint is the point at which pre-existing bacteria and pre-existing organic matter is destroyed. That point is breakpoint. Now you start adding more chlorine. Don't stop at the breakpoint. You keep on adding more chlorine till the residual chlorine, now that chlorine will be free chlorine, till the residual or the free chlorine become 0.5 milligram per liter, 0.5 milligram per liter. So this much of chlorine I have to add. So I have added this chlorine here, this chlorine here. So the residual chlorine is fixed in both of them, but chlorine demand differs. Okay, so the same thing I want to explain you here. In this graph also, you can See the same thing. So on this axis, on x-axis, how much chlorine I am adding, and on y-axis, how much residual chlorine present in the water. So initially I keep on adding, there's no residual chlorine, no residual, because whatever chlorine I'm adding, that is utilized in killing the pre-existing bacteria and pre-existing organic matter. So no residual chlorine over here. A point will come, this is break point, at which all the pre-existing bacteria and pre-existing organic matter get destroyed. Now from here, from this point, from this point, chlorine start accumulating as a free chlorine in the water, and I have to add the chlorine till this level become 0.5 milligram per liter. I tried explaining you this graph also, people. So this is the break point. What is break point? Break point is the point at which chlorine demand is achieved. Okay, I mean all the pre-existing bacteria and organic matter is destroyed. That point is break point. Now after that, if you keep on adding the chlorine, that will appear as a free chlorine. Okay, so free residual chlorine that will kill the bacteria or viruses which will be added in future. And this chlorine is fixed. We want to make this level as 0.5 milligram per liter for 1 hour. For 1 hour. Okay, we have to measure it after 1 hour, after chlorination. After 1 hour, it should be stable. Okay, so this much time requires 1 hour. So after 1 hour, measure its level, and it should be 0.5. It should be 0.5. So we will think the chlorination or disinfection of this water body is done. Okay, so here the contact period is 1 hour. So measure it after 1 hour. The contact period should be 1 hour. Okay, so the residual chlorine level is 0.5 milligram per liter and its contact period is 1 hour. Learn both the things for residual chlorine. Could learn both the things. Now see this formula. You will understand this formula very well. So how much chlorine should I add in this water body? Say, ma'am, first achieve the chlorine demand. So add the chlorine which is required to kill the pre-existing bacteria present in this water body. That's chlorine demand. So breakpoint will come. And after breakpoint, don't stop. Keep on adding till the residual level become 0.5 after 1 hour. Okay, so this is the formula. And now you are well understanding with this graph. I hope everyone got it. Okay, now what should be the residual chlorine? I told you the residual chlorine or the free chlorine. It is known as free residual chlorine, FRC. The free residual chlorine which is accumulating after the breakpoint, it should be 0.5 milligram per liter in the drinking water. In the drinking water. But post disaster, if any disaster occurs anywhere, post disaster, its level, because in disasters there are high chances of epidemics. So in post disaster, we take care, it should be 0.7. And in swimming pools, it should be minimum 1 milligram per liter. Instead of taking milligram per liter, you can call it ppm, parts per million, ppm. The unit is same. Either you call milligram per liter or ppm, the unit is same. And the contact period is 1 hour. I hope you got it. So in drinking water, the residual chlorine should be 0.5 milligram per liter. Post disaster, it should be 0.7 milligram per liter. And in swimming pools, it should be 1 milligram per liter. Chlorine demand differs from water to water. We cannot judge the chlorine demand. I cannot tell you in pre-hand. But after break point, we want this much of residual chlorine. So suppose this is my water. Actually, it's my water and I actually want to drink it. This is safe and wholesome water. From where I got this water? This water is supplied to my home, okay, via government pipelines. And I'm having a purifier also at my home, which purify it before I consume it. So taking it from the government pipelines, and after that we purify it with the RO, reverse osmosis, and then we drink it, consume it. Now, if I want to measure the residual chlorine in this, it should be more than or minimum 0.5. I'm not in a disaster phase, so this drinking water should have, see on the screen, it should have 0.5 milligram per liter of residual chlorine, so it is safe to consume. Post disaster, if I'm consuming anywhere, it should be 0.7. And in swimming pool, it should be 1 milligram per liter. These are the guidelines you have to learn. These are the guidelines you have to learn. Now, you understood the principle of chlorination. You well understood the principle of chlorination. Now, coming on the methods, the method of chlorination. Okay, there are three methods of chlorination: chlorine gas, chloramin, and perchlorone. The three methods. What is chlorine gas? Chlorine gas is the first choice because it is cheap, it is easily available, but it is irritant to the eye. So we need an instrument. The name of the instrument is chloronome, Peterson chloronome, to add the chlorine gas directly in the water. Or we can add in the form of chloramin. Chloramin are the loose compounds of chlorine and ammonia, as seen in the name. Chlorine and ammonia chloramine. They are the loose compounds. Once you add them, slowly the chlorine is released in the water, but they have slower action. And third is perchloron, also known as high test hypochlorite. High test hypochlorite HTH. These all comes in your MCQs. It provides 60 to 70% of the chlorine in the water. So these are the ways we add the chlorine in the water. But you should ask me a question, ki ma'am, how much is the chlorine, the residual chlorine? You are saying this water should have how much residual chlorine? This water which I'm consuming at my home right now, it should have 0.5 milligram per liter or 0.5 ppm of the residual chlorine. Yes or no? But how to measure it? If I actually want to measure before consume, I want to become sure whatever water I'm drinking, it is disinfected. It is already done by the government. Okay. And it once it reach at my home, I'm sure enough that it contains the residual chlorine. Okay. It contains 0.5 milligram per liter or more than that residual chlorine. Yes or no? This is a fixed quantity. But how to measure it? So we are having the test. So I'm telling you the test to measure the residual chlorine or the chlorine content of the water. So there are two type of tests. The name of the test is orthotoluidine test, OT, or orthotoluidine arsenic test. It's the modification of this only, OTA, orthotoluidine arsenic. So we have two tests, orthotoluidine test, orthotoluidine arsenic test. We don't have to see the steps and the principle of this test. Just learn the two names. Via this two test, we measure the chlorine component of this water. This is having water. Now, how much chlorine it is having, we can measure via this test. So if I am applying orthotoluidine test, it can measure the free. It can measure the free. But whatever is the chlorine demand, the combined chlorine, I taught you, initially we add chlorine, that chlorine will be utilized in killing the pre-existing bacteria. That will not be a free chlorine, but that will be in the form of combined chlorine. Once all the bacteria get killed, organic matter get destroyed, then it appear as a free chlorine after the breakpoint. That point is breakpoint. So this chlorine is combined chlorine, this chlorine is free chlorine. So if we apply orthotoluidine test, we can measure the free chlorine and free and combined together. There is no way to measure combined separately here. But better is orthotoluidine arsenic test, which is measuring free and combined separately. First, you understand this is water. In this water, free chlorine should be 0.5 milligram per liter. It is fixed. And combined chlorine depending on the chlorine demand. If this water was having more organic components, so combined is more. If this water was having less organic component, the combined is less. So this water is having two type of chlorine, the combined, which I don't know. And it depends from organic matter, water to water, how much organic matter it is having. And free chlorine, it is fixed. It is having free chlorine. It should have the free chlorine of 0.5 milligram per liter. It should have two type of chlorine. So if I am applying orthotoluidine test and orthotoluidine arsenic test, this measure free chlorine. Okay. And free and combined together. Combined, not separately. If you want to know combined, you take this result and subtract this from this, you will get the combined. But orthotoluidine test or arsenic test is better because it gives the result of free chlorine separately and combined separately. So we have two tests. What they are measuring, please see, please do understand. Orthotoluidine test and orthotoluidine arsenic test. This measure free and free combined together. Combined, not separately. And this measure free and combined separately. So this one is better. This one is better. This one is a modification of this one. I hope you got it. So you can read it here. This is measuring free and free combined together. If you want to know combined, you have to subtract this from this. But this one is measuring free separately, combined separately. That's why we prefer OTA than OT. So we prefer, so on this water, which one I want to apply? I will apply OTA, orthotoluidine arsenic test. So it will give me free chlorine separately and combined separately. Free chlorine should be 0.5 milligram per liter. Combined depend how much organic matter it was having. Okay, so it will give me two different results. So OTA is better than OT. It's your MCQ because it measures free and combined separately. Okay, that's why OT is better. So that was all about chlorination. I taught you the principle, the methods, everything regarding the calculations of chlorination. Now coming on ozonation. Ozonation we don't frequently use, but you should know it's a method of disinfection like chlorination. Ozone is also oxidizing agent like chlorine. It also remove odor, color, taste, and organic matter like the chlorine. Okay, but the main thing, it can destroy virus in contrast to chlorine. Chlorine was unable to kill virus, but ozone can destroy virus also. What ozone dose we need? We need 0.2 to 1.5 milligram per liter. This much of dosage, there is a range. It depends from water to water. If the impurity is more, high dose is required. If the impurity is less dose is required. It depends how much organisms and impurities are present or organic matter is present. Here, no residual effect. We don't leave any residual effect. Okay, and the costing is very high. That's why we don't prefer. Although it's better than chlorination because it is killing viruses also. Okay, chlorine was not killing viruses, but the costing is very high. So that's why we don't go with this method. And these are the two methods of the disinfection. I have given you much detail of chlorination. Ozone, you should know only these things for your MCQs or your short questions. Chlorine can come as a long question, but ozone will come as the short or very short question in your exams. MCQ can come on both of them. So these are the ways of purifying water on large scale. Still, we have not started small scale in this session. In this session, I taught you the purification of water on large scale. The three components: storage, filtration, disinfection. You can see this is storage, this is filtration, and this is disinfection. Storage may three things will happen: physical change, chemical change, biological change. You know, the physical change, suspended impurities will be settled down, chemical change, and biological change. Okay, filtration maybe we have two options: slow sand and rapid sand. The two options, slow and rapid. And disinfection maybe we have two options: chlorination and ozonation. Chlorination, ozonation. So storage may we don't have any option, filtration may two option, disinfection may two option. So whatever water we consume, first it should be stored, then it should be filtered, then it should be disinfected, and then supplied, and I should drink. I should drink it. So that will be safe and wholesome water. I hope you got it. So in this session, I taught you the purification of water in large scale. In the next session, you can watch the next session in which I will teach you the purification of water on small scale. Thank you so much.